Hey everybody, this episode is going to be about kind of like a simple version of Draw My Life, but without like the marker board, marker, blah 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 blah. What voice in control, writing down, blah 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 blah, because all of that is going to be, all that's just going to be difficult for me to track down. I'm going to talk about my life from when I was born all the way to what I am to now. So let's start it out. I was born on the eastern side of Iowa, and until 2004, and moved to the west side of Iowa, the western side, over by Nebraska and South Dakota, blah 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 blah. And but before that, I was diagnosed with multiple things: 40 to 50 degree scoliosis, a rare type of dwarfism, minor hearing loss, anastigma in one of my eyes, and a cleft palate. Now, I'm going to start out with the dwarfism thing. This is just going to be as simple as possible. This dwarfism actually occurs very, very rare. Almost rare. Almost impossible. So, I'm actually one of the first people in Iowa to actually have what I have. Now, one of the first people. Now, for medication-wise, I have to take 6 nights a week to take a shot. Every night, 6 nights a week, because I always have one day off. Now, next, we are going to talk about my scoliosis. My first surgery, they took off a piece of my floating rib, attached it to my lower back. As I got bigger, as I keep taking my shots, blah 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 blah, my spine kept going like this. And there was always this gigantic hump showing up in my back. Once my dad realized it, he goes like, okay, something's wrong over here, we need to get him into the doctor. Went into the doctor during January. Sooner or later, they noticed that if it would have bent any longer than it should have had, I would have been paralyzed from the lower back down, and I would have to be stuck in a wheelchair. So they had to get in there immediately to go in there. This is the second scoliosis surgery. So stuck me in there, put in rods in my back. Now, why did they put rods in my back on the first surgery? Well, back then, they didn't have the technology to put a rod that small inside of a baby, because they only had adult-sized. Now, moving on. We are going to move on to my anastigma. An anastigma eye is basically also known as a lazy eye. Now, one of my eyes is actually, you can see it right here. You can see that one of my eyes can drift off, but anastigma eye allows me to like, each of my eyes work independently. So, like, if I switch from this eye, I can blink 1 second, I'm into the other eye. Like, I can switch from different eye perspectives. Yeah, so. And they believe that glasses was going to be the cure to keep my eyes straight. But as I put on my glasses, they still drift off. Now, next I'm going to be talking about my cleft palate. Cleft palate is basically a no roof of the mouth. Basically, you have to make a piece of plastic, put it onto the exact spot of where the roof of my mouth should have been, and so would on, blah 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 blah, right? I'm soft. But once I had my baby teeth, they were all straight. Everybody's baby teeth are straight, duh. But as I started growing into my permanent teeth, they all started getting crooked, blah 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 blah. Once I had my cleft palate problem, the doctor knew, yeah, he's gonna need braces, duh, he's gonna need them. And in order to get my braces, I had to get a couple of permanent teeth taken out so that my teeth can rearrange into the exact position to where I actually have them on today. But I'm actually nearly done, so. Now, next we are going to be talking about the hearing loss. Sometimes, if, like, a person is a certain distance away, and somebody talks in, like, a normal voice, sometimes I can't hear them, sometimes I do. And it's just a common problem. Now, there wasn't really anything to it. I had to get tubes in my ears. In the last 15 years, I had to get at least 2 or 3 sets, I believe. But one of them doesn't have a tube in my ear anymore. I just have one that has one tube. So, now, I basically now have... Here, let me turn my boots off. There we go. Set these aside. Now, I believe that's all that I have problems with. Oh, yeah. Ever since I had my cleft palate, I couldn't suck on anything. Meaning that they had to cut me open, cut a hole in my stomach, stick a feeding tube in me. I even remember where I actually had it in me. And worst thing that ever happened to me. And, next thing is that, I actually have 2 scars on the side, on both of my sides. One on the left side right here, one on the right side right here. And I have 1, 2, 3 scars on my chest and stomach. I have I think I had surgery on my eyes, I think I had surgery on my ears, I think I had I had surgery on my mouth, because my cleft palate. And that should actually, well, I only total results I actually at least 7 or 8, but that doesn't explain the other 6 surgeries that I had to have. I had 14 total. They said I wouldn't be able to make it through the first 6, but I'm still here. Now, the very next thing is that how people were me in school. Now, school was kind of a difficult thing for me. At first, back in eastern Iowa, it kind of worked out a little bit because they knew who I was, they knew who I had, who or what I had, blah 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 blah. And but once I moved back over to here in western Iowa, it was just a disaster from the start. I mean, people bullied me because of how tall I was. They bullied me on how my restrictions applied to me and other people. I was made fun of, bullied of how I actually look, like face-wise. I was made fun of what my strength was. There was multiple things that people bullied me about, and it was outrageous. And how I felt during all that bullying, I felt sad, angry, and multiple stuff. But luckily, I just held it in, and I just went through it within the next day. So, then after that, there was was multiple things that it was just endless bullying, and I believe almost 30% of high school kids who have been bullied committed suicide in the United States. I'm not like one of those. I'm not like one of those people. If I witness bullying, I just sit there, let them whatever they're gonna say, and I just act like I don't even care about it. I just sit here and I say, oh, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? And you wanna know what I just say? I just say, really? What I think about it is just that I don't care. I am who I am. Nobody can change that from me. Simple as that. All you gotta do is just say, hey, I don't care what you say or what other people say. All you gotta do is focus on the teacher, do your assignments, and stop worrying about other people and worry about you. And like, sometimes that kind of gets through people, saying, meaning like, oh crap, he's probably right. I should probably focus on the teacher, get my assignments done, try to get an academic scholarship instead of making fun of other people because I feel bad about myself. It's just how boys are. They just try to take advantage of you. Now, moving on to what I am today. Today, I actually started my YouTube channel about 2011, 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. And I made this specific channel. Then I made a second channel, and then I stuck with that channel for 3 whole years. 3 years. And I came back here. I came back here because this is the channel that holds my memories. Blah 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 blah. And other stuff. And I kind of got some subscribers at the time. And other than that, yeah. So moving on. Now, for the rest of my life, I have actually had people die, which made me feel extremely bad, because everyone has people die. Families, yeah, I know. I have had some injuries. Well, there's one injury that kind of still haunts me today. And which one do you want me to say? Are you gonna answer? Tell me if you're gonna answer. Tell me if you're gonna... Sorry about that. You know what? I'm just gonna go straight off the bat. We're just gonna go into that specific injury. Now, the specific injury is that I went over to my friends one day, and I believe this was during 5th grade, and I went over to my friends, decided to hang out, blah 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 blah, moving on. We decided to do a game inside of his boat that he parks in his garage. Now, we are all inside the boat. All of us. All inside of us. All of us inside the boat. Sooner or later, somebody younger pushes me. Sooner or later, I fall down. Sooner or later, all my weight transfers to the front of my head, shoulders, chest, blah 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 blah. Sooner or later, I begin to fall. My friend Nick tries to grab me by the arm. Sooner or later, he was too late. My arm slips. Boom! Onto the concrete. I believe it was right here. Fractured skull, bruised brain, and a bruised shoulder. Yeah, the shoulder, right here. And I wasn't even doing any physical education for at least 2 weeks. Meaning that my grade kind of went. So, but eventually, once I got through that, I was able to bring back up.